So back in March, I received some crochet braids, Boho Hippie Locs from Freetress Shake and Go, and they're really cool because they're 20 inches long and they have these ends that are diverse, so not all of the ends are identical. Therefore, your braids won't look too uniform, you know? They have this cute, messy, curly loveliness about themselves. So I started on stretched out hair and I did individual crochet braids around the perimeter. I tried to fake a shaved side, and in the middle I just crocheted in a somewhat new way. You've seen something similar, but we'll get into that when we get to that point. So I started with the individuals. The hair is pretty. The problem is the hole is too small, and I like a small hole, don't get me wrong, but the problem here is that because of the size of the hole and the thickness of the hair, you can't put as much of your natural hair into this, and it's very annoying because then you have too much density and you may end up using too much hair. If you choose to do a full head of individuals, you're gonna look crazy thick in there. That's the issue that I had, and that's why I chose to just go ahead and do the perimeters as individuals and in the middle work with the hair so that I wouldn't have too high a density of braids, because we don't want it to look unnatural, you know? Now, I do have tutorials on individual crochet braids that I'll link down below. This is not a tutorial, this is just me showing you guys what I do behind the scenes with PR stuff and when I'm wanting to experiment. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to receive products behind the scenes that I can play with before I present you guys with some interesting ideas or whatever. So this is the back. And I did not make it neat on purpose. I wanted this very messy look, so there were no straight parts or anything like that because I'm dealing with faux locks. Now, right here in the middle where my braids are, I am crocheting the hair onto my cornrows, but I'm using thread as an anchor, so I'm literally crocheting and feeding the faux lock and crocheting and feeding the faux lock, like traditional crochet, not crochet braids, but actual crochet the craft. And that helped me tremendously because you can't put these on cornrows without messing up the actual braid and making it look really scruffy and ugly, and I didn't want that. I wanted this faux lock to look exactly the same way it did when it came out of the packaging. And faux locks are very easy to make scruffy. Like, it's not a challenge at all because it's basically loose hair wound around a center. So you have to be very careful with it. And that's why I chose to do this. You guys have seen me do wefted crochet braids where I made a weft and I fed in the crochet braids so you could have a nice little track that I can sew down. But this time, no sewing, just crochet all the way, because when I unravel this, it's all gonna come out. I'm not gonna have to suffer trying to figure out where my thread went. Once I pull the end of this thread, when I take it out, everything's coming out, and I'll show you guys. But what I also did was I anchored these braids, which are cornrows on the side. I basically put crochet braids on the cornrows so that they would conceal where my fake shaved sides would start, which is basically here. And this is my last individual crochet braid. I used edge control in the front just so they'll look a little bit more polished and neat. This is my last individual and it's taken forever, and I will link the other tutorials down below because this is not a tutorial. And on the side, I went ahead and put very short sections of my Her Given Hair clip-ins in the 4C texture and really short sections, you guys. I just crocheted like normal crochet braids, the original crochet braid method, and I put those bad boys in there. I also trimmed them down, and after trimming them down, I had something that resembled shaved sides. It was a fail, but it kind of went with the look. It was kind of cute with this particular look because the look is a messy look. These locks, this filming that you're seeing, this is actually right before I removed them. I didn't do any additional filming after installing them. So this is what they looked like after 2 weeks, okay? And I think they looked very pretty. I also think they were worth the trouble. I was very annoyed with the whole setup and how they were designed, but they were really cute at the end. I was pretty in them. I'll show you guys pictures on Instagram. And this is what I was talking about with the thread. You just pretty much tug on the thread and it comes out because that's what crochet does. It just unravels as you go. There were some places where it tried to stick, but it still unraveled. And I removed the individual starting at the base. That was easy. The shaved sides were easy as well. I just removed the cornrows and it came out. And that's all, you guys, for this experiment. I promise to be more detailed with crochet tutorials in the future. So I'll talk to you guys later.